Well, I thought I'd seen it all in sim racing, but having someone drive head-on into oncoming traffic, that's a new one even for me. Sadly, I was right in the firing line and it ended up ruining yet another of my races. With it being my only opportunity to race this week, once again I'm left without a decent race to bring you, not to mention feeling incredibly frustrated. This latest disaster occurred at Monza, where I'm racing low-fuel Motorsport's BTCC series in rFactor 2. Now, I've just scraped into the top split for this one. I'm car number 18 on a grid of 21, but I've managed to qualify P14 with a lap time of 1:57.4. I knew this one was going to be tough given the high quality of opposition on a very crowded racetrack, but I wasn't expecting it to end this way. I'd love nothing more than to bring you an action-packed race full of clean and fair battles, but I'm really struggling to find them. Some have been my fault, some haven't, but they've all combined to leave me feeling pretty disillusioned with online racing. Well, can 21 BTCC cars get through this first chicane at Monza unscathed? We're about to find out because the lights have gone green. We're starting on the inside of the grid, so we're going to have to hold as tight a line as we possibly can into this first corner. We were just about alongside Thomas Malalepsi to our left, but we've braked a lot earlier than him so we can get this tighter line. I'm using as much of the curb as I possibly can to free up space to my left, and miraculously we've all got through safely. It looks like we've even held on to our starting position of 14th as well. I wasn't too worried about that. My main goal was just to get through there unscathed, and we have done. There's a gap of half a second that's opened up to Juan Gonzalez in 13th. Meanwhile, Federico Clerico behind in 15th is just 0.2 of a second back. I'm hoping he's not going to try and move up the inside into this second chicane. Thankfully he doesn't. But yeah, things looking very, very good after half a lap. We're holding on to 14th position. We've tucked in neatly behind this pack in front, and crucially we've not picked up any damage. And remember, it's a 25-minute race this one. There's plenty of time yet, although you wouldn't think so from looking at this battle in front. Juan Gonzalez tucks it up the inside of Thomas Malalepsi. There was a bit of contact there. Gonzalez nudged Malalepsi out into the gravel exit in Lesmo 2 there, and it's put me in a bit of an awkward position because I've got more pace than Gonzalez in front, but I haven't got the space to pull out and go around him due to the cars on my inside. One of them is Clerico, and he's not going to back out coming into Ascari, so we've got no choice but to hang it out really wide through there. We had to leave enough space for Clerico in order for the pair of us to get through safely. Had I taken my usual line, there would have been contact and I would have likely ended up in the barrier. So although we picked up one position there when we passed Thomas Malalepsi, it was short-lived. We've now surrendered it to Federico Clerico through the parabolic, and look at Juan Gonzalez. He was sideways there. Somehow he managed to keep the car facing the right way. He's certainly going to be down on pace as we start the charge down the start-finish line to end lap 1. The question is, have we got enough pace to get around him? It doesn't look like we have. So Clerico was able to take full advantage. He's up to 12th. Gonzalez down to 13th. We finished lap 1 where we started it in 14th. And we've got Jose Lopez and Thomas Malalepsi both within striking distance behind. They're both within 0.5 of a second. And I wasn't nearly as smooth as I would have liked to have been through that first chicane. As a result, we've lost a bunch of time, both to the pack in front and to Lopez behind. It's now 0.9 of a second to Gonzalez in 13th. But look at Lopez in the rearview mirror. It's just 0.1 of a second. The gap now. He's surely going to think about making a move into this second chicane. Hopefully he won't. He's having a look up the inside, but he does think better of it. And someone spun out in front. Hopefully they're going to stay where they are. No, he doesn't. He comes back onto the track the wrong way, and he takes out 4 or 5 cars like Skittles there. What was he playing at? Oh no, look how much damage we've picked up. This car is undrivable. I can't steer it. I've lost my rear wing. We've got no downforce. This race is over. Well, I've bemoaned unsafe rejoins in recent videos, and it has struck again here. Let's check out the replay. I'm just entering this second chicane when suddenly that Vauxhall appears out of nowhere, rejoining the track in the wrong direction, driving head-on into the racing traffic. Absolutely ridiculous. Wagner Marquez was the Vauxhall driver. When he came to a rest after the spin, he was off the racing line, and there was plenty of room for everybody to get through safely, but I suspect it was an attack of rage after he was taken out in the first place by the BMW driver Nick Lowe. So I totally get why Marquez is feeling so frustrated. We're riding on board with him now and we'll see him get spun around. But no matter how frustrated you are, you can't do this. Yeah, that is a lot of races ruined by one petulant act of rage. Let's see the replay again. Now watch the BMW this time. Nick Lowe is actually the pole position man, so he's clearly come to grief at some point on lap 1 and he's in a hurry to try and claw some positions back. But it looks like an honest mistake. It doesn't look deliberate or cynical. He's just braked too late. But at this point, he knows there's going to be contact. He's tried his best to avoid it by running onto the grass on the inside, and he's even going to wait. But yeah, the damage is done. And speaking of damage, I knew that I had no chance of nursing this Toyota around for the next 20 minutes, so I had to come into the pits as well for some running repairs, and unfortunately that took about 5 minutes out of my race. Really frustrating. But as I always do, I put on a brave face, I stuck with it and went back out there to finish this race, and I actually finished in P14. So all things considered, it's not that big of a disaster. I finished exactly where I started, and I finished 4 places above my car number. But for me, I just don't judge sim racing success solely on finishing positions. I judge it on how much I've enjoyed it and how much fun I've had, and I've got to be honest, I'm not having fun in sim racing at the moment. I've tried different sims, different series, different platforms, but all with the same result. In the last 2 months, I can count the number of races I've managed to finish cleanly on one hand. As I said earlier, I'm feeling very disillusioned with online racing right now, so I think it's best I have some time away. I don't know how long that'll be, but I need to wait until I've got my enthusiasm back. Right now, that's the one thing I'm sorely lacking.